Alright, hopefully you guys can't hear my vacuum too loud. It's right underneath me doing its thing. So I'm going to be changing out the stock Intel cooler because I hate it. The temps are fine and there's like nothing against it. It's just way too loud. So I'm going to switch over to a Cooler Master one that I know is a little bit more quiet. This one isn't very expensive or fancy. It does have copper at the bottom, so it does have better heat transfer. Gold, silver, copper are the best ones, copper being the least expensive for, obvious reasons. It's not as rare as gold or silver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out where I'm going to plug it into. So I'll plug it in to the same spot that is already plugged in. And then I have to find an RGB header 4-pin where there is one right here. So those are the two spots I'm going to go. If you have a 3-pin, it will have only 3 slots. And then 4 has 4. Now the problem with this is there's an arrow on top, and I have to pick the exact right way for it to go in, and I assume it's going to go this way. If you do it wrong, it will not light up. So it can go in either way, so I'm going to try this way with the arrow towards the inside and see if that's the right way. So taking off the Intel stock cooler, you just grab these things and you just turn them. I find when you buy a pre-built, for whatever reason, that they are freaking on there so tight for absolutely no reason. And this is kind of cool because we're actually going to see how bad of a thermal paste job they did. I find that they don't do a great job, whoever it is doing it. So you just twist it. Lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. My IT support right there. It's probably watching the pins on the other side come out. You should be doing this flat. I'm ready to catch this thing. At least with the Intel, you don't have to worry about the CPU getting pulled away. So you just pull these little tabs up, and they're just clicked in there, barely any. And you just pull it away. So it's got a good amount of thermal paste. I would say probably too much. And then unplug it. Hold on, I gotta prevent my cat from stealing my screws. What are you doing? These are mine. You leave them. I've taken them away. He will pick them up and run away with them and hide them under my bed. He does it all the frickin' time. So I'm going to wipe away the thermal paste. I have better stuff here that I trust a lot more. So all you do, just get a regular paper towel, make sure there's no hair or anything on it. You should also touch metal just to be safe. So by that I mean anything metal that's touching the ground. So for instance, I have my desk here with metal legs. So just give it a tap to ground myself. You can wear the wristband thing, I just find it gets irritating. So, wiping it all off. Try not to let it seep down the sides. It doesn't have to be perfect. The thermal paste is pretty new if your PC's less than a year old. But just to be safe, wipe all of it away. Now with this one, it comes with this metal bracket for screws and a little bit of double-sided sticky tape on it. Will be good enough to hold it. I'm like dodging a vacuum and my cat. These aren't exact conditions that you should be working in, but make do. Life doesn't stop. Oh, first I want to put the bracket on. I'll pause the video for a second, get the bracket on, and then show you guys what to do. Okay, so now that the bracket's on, you can see the holes in there now. It's on the back. Now I get my thermal paste. Use my teeth to open it. And the size of a grain of rice. If it's your first time using the thermal paste, maybe do it over top of a paper towel. Just because the pressure in it could be pretty great. The size of a grain of rice right in the middle. A little bit too much for my liking, but it's better than what was on it. Then we just have to install it. And it's pretty straightforward. Just line up the holes to the screws. So first things first, I like to plug this in. So plug that into the CPU fan. This one says CPU fan 1, so just to be safe, I'll plug it into that one. And take this bad boy and plug her in. So I want the arrow towards the inside. And believe it or not, this is actually hard as heck to get in sometimes. You wouldn't know it. You've never had to plug in a 4-fan connector. But it's a really bad design. Make sure it's tight. And now we just push it and screw it on. So it just goes on just like this. Just make sure the wires are out of the way and then just screw it on where the screws are. I'm gonna pause the video so I can get it on straight. Alright, so after you get it all set up, so once you put it on the back, it should be able to hold, and you want to go in through this way and just make sure to do the screws up until they are snug. I wouldn't say tight until you can feel it start to tighten. And then do this one, and then do the opposite side, just so that way it should be able to line up. So that one's good. This one, that one's really loose. And just screw it. Takes a little while, you'll feel it get snug, and she's good to go. And then the last one. This one is hard. There we go. Sweet. So that's nice and tight. Shouldn't be going anywhere. So this part is plastic. Shake the actual metal part. If that's not shaky, you did it right. So next, let's worry about